It's Caleb.
It's Megan, and we're back today with the #WHODIS podcast.
Megan, we have absolute fire again today. Episode 2. We got a great guest. I'm super pumped for this one. I know you are too. Run us through who we got.
That's right. I think we're doing pretty well for our second podcast so far. We are incredibly delighted to be sitting next to the absolute meal prep queen. I can actually almost touch her flesh. From the kitchen to the schoolyard, she's absolutely slaying in life as a full-time high school teacher, businesswoman, and entrepreneur of meal prep MVP and balance fare. She's definitely made her mark. She's known for building others up and empowering a community of people to fuel, move, and transform. What an absolute legend you are. Welcome to the #WhoDis podcast.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for having me here today.
What an intro. Megan, you're on fire with them.
Yes, so good.
I love it. Lolas, thank you so much for being here, as Megan said. Let's get straight into it.
Yep.
So a lot of people know you from your IG account, but also from your media exposure. You get a lot of it these days because of the positive messages that you're pushing out into the world, especially for women of all ages. So let's take it back to the very beginning when no one knew who you were. You decided to start an IG account. How did that how did it happen? You clicked a few buttons, but why did you decide to start, and what was the original concept?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I think a lot of my close friends weren't really into health and fitness. I got diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, and I was just looking to just make some changes in my lifestyle, and I was kind of craving like an online community of people. So I created my Instagram and just started using it as a journal to kind of track, how I was training, what I was eating, and look for other women that were kind of experiencing the same thing as I was. And it kind of just snowballed from there. It was super organic. I kind of wasn't out trying to build a following or anything like that. It just kind of all happened.
Wow, that's awesome. Is there anything that made you kind of want to spark that journey and find others that sort of had the same alignment with you? Like, how did you aim to get your message out there when you first started your Instagram?
I just wanted to share my authentic journey. So what I was going with, I think one of the main messages I shared when I first started training was that you can put on weight and look leaner and toner and feel stronger and better about yourself. I think I was really restricted. I had this idea in my mind of what healthy was, and I kind of defined my health by a number on the scales. And kind of after pushing through that barrier and falling in love with like lifting weights, I learned that, I could put on weight and that was just building muscle, but I could still feel better. And I guess I looked better than I did. I if you looked at me in the past, you probably would have described me as lots of people did, a skinny kind of fat. I think I was like quite conventionally thin, but not toned at all, really weak, a little bit round around the midsection. And so, I fell in love with weightlifting and getting strong, feeling better. And then my focus shifted and I just didn't care that I had put on like weight at all. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Because I know even myself, I do weight training and it just makes you feel so strong and empowered, especially as a woman. Yeah. We're always told that we should be doing cardio and stuff like that in today's society to get that skinny figure. But I want to know when you kind of crossed over from being, skinny, that whole physique, into when you actually started to want to train weights and become strong.
Okay, so I actually started training weights because I kept injuring my back. So throughout my 20s, every like 12 months to a year, I just throw my back out. And the doctors and my physio was kind of like, Katie, you need to learn how to activate your core. We need to work on building muscle. You're very tall, like I'm 182.5 centimeters. So I'm 6 foot. I was lanky. I didn't have the muscles, especially around my midsection, to control these long limbs. And therefore I was just like injuring my back constantly. So I was kind of forced into starting weights, and I was scared because I didn't want to put on weight. And like I said, I had this idea that, because I'm so tall, I was always kind of around the 68 kilo mark. And for whatever reason in my head, I was like, oh my God, I can't be like heavier than 70 kilos. In my head, that would just be the worst thing in the world. But as I started training and my mid region started to get a lot stronger, I just started to feel better, and my perception of like just what healthy was kind of started to shift, and I stopped. And it was really hard at first because as you see those numbers on the scale increasing, I'm freaking out. I want to stop lifting weights. I want to go back to doing cardio. But I just kind of had to ignore those fears and just focus on, you know what, although I'm scared of putting on this weight, I have got more energy. I feel better. It's been like 9 months. I haven't injured my back. I'm moving in the right direction here. So yeah, I just kind of stuck with it. And yeah, my perception of what health is has definitely changed. So
yeah, it's a beautiful message and an important one. Not only is it a personalized message where you had to do something according to, where your body was at the time, but such an important message for all women and even guys in terms of, you don't need to look a certain way.
No.
You don't need to train a certain way. You need to do things according to, what your life demands the demands of your life puts on you on a day-to-day basis.
yeah.
How soon did it kind of take you until you thought that, hey, like I have a platform here on IG and I should be pushing out these messages?
Yeah, look, I think I was sharing the messages right from the beginning. So there wasn't a time where I shifted and started to think, I was just sharing my journey.
Yeah,
so
naturally.
as I was like developing muscle, I was sharing, I actually feel good about having these toned arms, and I like that my legs are a little more muscly now, and I like that I can see that I've got like a six pack.
Yeah.
So I was just sharing it organically as it was happening. But there wasn't a time where I was just like, oh, hey, I should share this message, because I was using my Instagram more of a journal rather than, because, my friends were like, a lot of my close friends were like, Katie, you don't need to go to the gym. You're too thin. And they didn't understand why I wanted to go to the gym, because they're like, you're skinny. Like, well, I don't understand what you're doing. I'm like, well, that's not really the reason I'm going to the gym. Like, I'm trying to get strong. I'm trying to get healthy. And increasing the amount of exercise I did, lifting weights, I think helped me manage some of my gut issues and irritable bowel syndrome, manage my stress. So there were so many other reasons I decided to keep training and going to the gym, and it had nothing to do with like trying to be thin. So
yeah, well, you definitely look amazing and
thank
healthy
you. I'll
and
take it.
absolutely glowing.
Thank you.
Love it.
So let's go back in time when
Yep.
you first started with Tropeaka.
Hey.
When was that?
Oh my God, it was, Caleb, you'd probably know better than I.
Yeah, I just got to get on
Oh,
my
it
email.
was
Yeah, it was
When I
a
slid into
really,
your
really
emails.
long time
Oh,
ago.
really?
Yeah, it was at least like 2 years, 3 years
Yeah.
maybe,
Oh, okay.
closer
I
to
think
3 years.
2017 we first started
Yeah.
to have a chat, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Oh my
good.
God,
Do you
love
remember?
straight away.
Oh, which one?
Lean vanilla
Yeah.
protein. I personally don't have an incredibly sweet tooth.
Yeah.
So a lot of the proteins that were out there, really upset my stomach, especially like whey protein. Just, I have irritable bowel syndrome. So
Yeah.
that was just something that I couldn't have. And most of the proteins at that time are like sickly sweet, not my vibe either. So when Caleb reached out, sent me out some product, I really liked it. I thought it was just versatile, and it ticked a lot of boxes for me. Like, it was 5-star health rating, no nasty products. There was no like weird stevia aftertaste. And I just started using it in my smoothies, and yeah.
All right, let's go back as well. I mean, we're taking it back on a few questions here, but was there... do you remember a time where things kind of blew up and you're like on IG and you grew really quickly and you're like, crap, I didn't expect that? And do you know the reason why?
Yeah, it was a women's health article, online article. They kind of shared my journey and my message of, don't define yourself by how much you weigh, focus on how you feel and ditch the scales completely. And yeah, it was that message that they kind of encapsulated in this article and shared it. And my IG just kind of blew up after that. So
How many followers were you at that time?
I cannot tell you.
No.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't keep a tab on my follower. Like, it fluctuates, they grow, and then some of them drop off, and then they have a little growth again. So I couldn't tell you at the time.
Did they reach out to you for the article, or
Yes,
did they
they
just
did.
kind
Yeah,
of
I
do
got
a sneaky?
How did they even
that's
find
Daily
out? Like,
Mail.
how did they, yeah.
That's Daily Mail, not Women's Health. Yeah, I just think one of the editors, like, maybe
Wow.
she emailed me or inboxed me on Instagram and just said, look, I love what you're doing. Would it be okay if like you answered some questions and we use some of your imagery from your Instagram? And I was like, sure, I'd love to talk to you, of course.
Yeah.
How good's that?
How did
Yeah.
that feel for you, knowing that
I was
you're
nervous, of course, at first,
Yeah.
but I was kind of really proud as well that like my efforts had been acknowledged, and I was really excited that this message would be able to reach more women out there, because, you know, until this day, people kind of, I find females especially, our clincher is our weight, and we, for some whatever reason, define our idea of health and fitness and success around this number that no one really cares about, and it's really not important. And I know that when I'm not here one day, people aren't going to remember me by how much I weighed. So
yeah, and I mean, it's funny, like the devil's in the detail with everything. Like you even see that in nutrition, where people, you know, there's a difference between healthy fats and good fats. There's a difference between, you know, a good natural source of sugars and an artificial sugar. People try and lump everything into the same category, whether it's, oh, you weigh this amount. Yes, muscle weighs more than fat. There's a reason why your weight might be increasing, and for good reasons. And people get too stuck in like the not realizing that you got to dig deeper to actually get the truth behind certain facts and figures and whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Love it.
Do you have any tips for anyone sort of starting on their own health, fitness journey at all?
Yeah, I do. I have quite a few actually.
She's got them.
Run us through. Come on. I want a top 10 list here.
No, oh God. It's just a lot of pressure, guys. You need to relax there. I reckon you need to move in a way that you enjoy. Ditch the 12-week crash course workout programs if you don't think you'll be able to maintain it. You know, moving, it doesn't matter how you move. Walk, run, Pilates, yoga. If you enjoy it, do it, and do it often. That's probably my biggest message.
It comes down to it almost just being a change in your lifestyle. And I don't think, you know, some people still trying to understand that it's a lifestyle change and not just for a few weeks or a few months.
Yeah. Like you need sustainability to see those long lasting results as well. With eating, for me, balance is key. And you're probably, oh God, we've heard this before. But being healthy for me and balance is still having my pizza, is still going out and just enjoying myself, going out for pasta. You know, my husband and I try to go out once, twice a week. I eat whatever. I don't care. There's no such thing as a cheat meal in my vocabulary. Food is food. Nothing is off limits. But during the week, I try to structure my eating a little bit more just so I have healthy, fresh options available to me so I can, you know, feed my body well, or fuel my body well rather. Just trying
I've heard actually that it's really good because everyone associates the word diet and clean eating. They're all just associated with a bad mentality. So I've actually heard that it's good just to completely wipe those words out of your vocabulary. Sorry, vocab. Frank English.
She's offended
to sort of kind of reboot your mentality around dieting and eating and just balance.
100%.
Like health for me now is not how much I weigh. It's not the diet that I'm on. Health for me is just being, you know, strong enough to help my neighbor move some furniture if they need to. Health for me is being illness free and pain free, especially, you know, after injuring my back so badly. Health for me is, you know, not running out of breath if I'm running late to catch a bus. So my whole concept of what health is and focusing on how I feel. I want to feel energized and happy. If I'm unhappy, for me, that means that that's unhealthy to me, because health encapsulates more than just, you know, your physical attributes. For me, it's how you feel, your emotional state, and your mental health for sure.
Yeah, so true, so true. Do you have one more for us?
Oh,
I'm putting you under a lot of pressure.
I think if you want to be successful and get healthy as well, surround yourself by people that are going to support you. I ditched a lot of the friends that told me that my Instagram was rubbish and that I shouldn't go to the gym. And I realized that if people weren't going to be constructive or support, you know, because life for me is about changing and growing and evolving. And if people weren't going to get on board with that, they were hindering my process. So just to kind of let them go on their own way and just focus on what feels right for me in that moment. So
Lolas, I bloody love that.
Oh,
that is fantastic. That is such good advice.
100%.
It's no surprise you've got a company called Balance Bear.
yeah.
You live and breathe your values, and that's something very commendable, and we love it here at Tropeaka.
Thank you.
Let's do a little bit of a shift. We've got a couple segments today.
Okay.
Now, we road tested these in our first episode, They were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
think,
really happy. I was
A+.
really happy. Yeah, yeah.
You're going to have to score us, grade us after this.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the tick of approval last week, but let's see how it goes this week. I think it's going to be good. Megan, do you want to run us through the first segment?
All right. So get ready for this one. It's called #InstaFamousBet.
Oh, God.
And basically what we're going to do is see basically the ins and outs of your life being Instagram famous, kind of more reality versus Insta fame vibe. We're going to ask you some questions if that's all right. So we'll go ahead, ask you the first one, which is where and when were you first spotted by some random in public because of being Instagram famous?
I reckon it was at my local Woolies, but she didn't talk to me in person. She then messaged me online and said, hey, I just saw you doing some grocery shopping. I wanted to say hello. You've got a really beautiful smile. And
That's
I was
so
like, oh my God.
sweet.
I was like, please talk to me in future. Like, I am just a normal person. So if you see me around, please say hello because that makes me feel great. So.
Yeah. Oh,
That's cute.
that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, number 2. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever put out there on IG? Bit of TMI overload.
Oh, too much information. I don't think I'm embarrassed, but I think maybe some people would perceive this as being embarrassing. I don't use tampons and pads anymore. I'm moving towards making more sustainable choices in my life. And so I let all my audience know that I've decided to use moon cups. And
I've actually heard they're great.
Yeah, they are really good. It's a lot cleaner and better for the environment and it's more comfortable. So it was a bit awkward to I did a little story explaining what that whole experience was like using a moon cup for the first time and ditching the tampons and the pads. So that's probably a bit of a too much information overload kind of story. I thought it was an important message to share. And I wished someone had shared something like that with me. I was like, why have I not known about this for so long? Why have I just started using these? They're amazing. Someone should have told me about them when I was in high school. They've been around for a really long time. It's just not common practice to use them. And if I can encourage a few people to start using them, like I know it's going to be a positive experience for them and it's better for the environment in the long run. So yeah.
Awesome. Caleb, how do you feel?
Look,
normalizing period
I
talk.
tuned out then. I was going to ask.
Let's normalize the period
Yes.
talk.
I could ask my sister later how they work and operate, but unless you feel like you should be educating some women on this podcast or even educating some guys, you can run us through about it.
It's a silicone cup. It's maybe triple the size of a tampon. You fold it, insert it inside your vagina. It kind of opens up inside the vaginal canal, and then your menstrual blood kind of pools in there, and then you take it out. The thing I like about that's probably a very gross description. I'm so sorry. However,
very scientific. A good teacher description.
Like it was very confronting at first removing it because I'd never seen anything like that. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much blood in there. What is happening? But I kind of just take it out in the shower now and rinse it out and it's all like totally fine. But the good thing about it is now that I've learned how to insert it for my body shape, I only change it once. So it can last a whole, I put it on in the morning and then I can go a whole day at work without changing it. No problems at all. And then come home overnight. So it's like less annoying during the day, and
we need that.
Because with the tampons and pads, like every couple of hours you've got to go to the bathroom. I had a couple of accidents when I was first starting out. I just wore a pad just to make sure there weren't any issues, but some leakages.
They're real.
Yeah. But once I kind of figured out what position was right for my body, now I'm like, would not go back to tampons or pads. So
that's awesome. I actually have a friend who uses it too, and I didn't know she did either. And I was like, what are those? I have no idea. But so there you go, guys.
I feel better
important news for you.
I feel better having not known about it, and the fact you didn't know about it either. So there you go. You learn something new every day. I'm an educated male, and an educated male is a good male. All right.
Next question is, what is the best thing about being Insta famous?
Oh, like being able to connect with other women in the real world and meeting women and hearing them say, you helped me change something. Like you helped me change the way I perceive myself. You helped me get a little bit more organized and with my life and plan ahead, just helping women make sustainable choices for the long run and just hearing that in the real world. That's like incredibly moving. And yeah, I'm super proud of that.
I think I can see a little
Yeah.
tear in your eye. I'm just like, oh my
Getting
goodness,
a bit
I'm gonna
emotional.
cry.
It's so, I'm just like, I don't know how I did this, but I feel really good about it. So
Yeah, that's amazing. You should be honestly so proud of yourself.
thank you.
That is very cool. All right, I suppose to ruin the mood, what's the worst thing about being Insta famous?
When people don't respect boundaries, I've made it really clear, especially to my audience, that I'm not going to talk about having kids and why I haven't had children yet. And that's just not something I want to discuss online. And people will still probe and prod. And I just think if, A, they shouldn't be asking at all. But B, if I've created that boundary and people still feel the need to cross it, it's really frustrating. And yeah, I guess that's the
100%.
thing that really
People just
annoys me.
keep
Otherwise, I don't
probing
get
you.
many trolls. Like, I feel like I'm really lucky. My community online is
No
really
old men
lovely.
in the DMs. No old sugar daddies.
Here we go.
Seldom.
There's a
but
few. There's a
I
few.
think SG features so much on my Instagram that they're like, okay, she's married, she's happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just leave
Yeah.
her alone. Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. You're up next.
All right. What are you most proud of with what you've done through your social channels?
Oh, I guess that's similar to the first question you asked me. I'm most proud of being able to impact and help women. And I'm really proud that I haven't been sucked into making bad choices just for money. And I've held to my values and what's important to me, and any brand or collaboration I've done, I've kind of made sure they align with my collaborations. And you know what I mean? Like, I see like lots of maybe influencers promoting things that aren't maybe great for us, and that makes me sad. So I feel like I'm proud that I've kind of stuck to my values and made some good choices around that.
Yeah.
I can 100% vouch for that as well. There's a few influencers I have a very good relationship with. One of them is Lolas, and she's the real deal, very authentic, and practices what she preaches. So there's no bullshit with her. Last one. What's your biggest Instagram versus reality moment?
Oh. What do you mean,
Whoa.
Instagram versus reality? As in,
When you take a photo and you take a selfie and it's like it looks beautiful, but people didn't realize that you took 300 photos to get to that one.
yeah,
or it
that's
could be
true.
something out of left field. That's just an example.
yeah.
Or any
I guess-
meal prep? Anything to do with
Honestly,
meal prep?
it takes
that's-
me longer to take the photo than it does to make the meal.
Really?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's a
because like
skill.
I'm such a perfectionist, so I want to like align everything and make it look really pretty. Otherwise, I try really hard to have a balance of pictures that are posed and then pictures that are a little bit more real. So
Yeah. Do you sort of plan what goes on your Instagram, or you're
Oh
more
my
just
God,
kind of like?
No, I don't know how I've gotten to the stage that I've gotten. I know I do about like roughly 4 posts a week. One of them is always meal prep, and the other like 3 are usually just what I'm doing, how I'm feeling. If I have a conversation with someone at work and something like I feel like inspired and I really want to like push a message home. Like this morning I went to the gym and it was an all girls session. We were all lifting weights and it was amazing. And then we took a photo at the end, and so I did a little like post about, it's International Women's Day tomorrow, so what that means to me, and just kind of off the cuff, really. No planning. I feel like if it was too planned, it might translate as being a little bit inauthentic.
Right.
So I just kind of like feeling how I'm feeling and then just sharing whatever message comes to me at the time.
Yeah, going with the flow. Nice. Love
yeah.
it. Well, let's pause the podcast for a second. Just a quick announcement. Firstly, thank you so much for tuning into the #WHODIS podcast so far. Just a quick reminder, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes, and don't forget to share it with your friends. You can also find us at Tropeaka on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo, along with a whole lot of fun.
All right, Lola. So let's talk a bit more about the incredibly busy woman that you are. Like, you're doing some insane stuff. Like, firstly, you got a full-time job.
Yes.
As a teacher, but then you've got 2 side hustles. 2 successful startup businesses, Meal Prep MVP and Balanced Bear.
Yeah.
You've gone through injuries. You train. God, you do your IG
Kick
account and all your
ass.
social media. It's actually a ridiculous amount of work you do. So run us through. Let's talk business first. Let's talk your 2 products or your 2 companies. How did it start? What inspired you? And run us through.
Yeah. So with Meal Prep MVP, obviously I shouldn't say obviously, meal prepping has been an integral part of me saving money, like keeping organized, managing some of my food intolerances, and I wanted to create a product that would kind of help people who are into meal prepping. I found a lot of the products that were online were just made out of really poor quality plastic. They weren't portion controlled, and they were really, really expensive. So I guess that's why I created Meal Prep MVP. I've created my own line of meal prep containers. They're portion controlled. I've got the 2-compartment and the 3-compartment containers. And, I worked with a dietitian just to make sure that they were like portion controlled correctly. They're made out of recycled plastic. They're BPA free, microwave safe, dishwasher safe, lightweight. I could go on and on about these all day.
Lift them up to the camera. Show them. I'm not sure if the camera is getting them exactly. Yeah. We actually got them for our employees as well. They're loving them.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are recyclable as well, and they're above everything, they're reusable. So turns out we offer free shipping Australia worldwide, but they end up being like $4 a container, which is, if you go to even Coles or Woolies, most of their containers are like
lousy.
They're lousy, and they're like $8
and an arm and a leg.
Yeah. And I used to hate having to take like 3 or 4 containers to work, where with these containers you can just pack all your different ingredients in them and take them all at once. So I guess I was solving that solution for myself, and it seems to have resonated with my audience online. And I guess the long-term goal is to expand the business. Obviously these are made out of plastic. However, like I said, it's recycled plastic and they can be recycled. They're BPA free, but I'd really like to expand the range and use like glass or stainless steel in the future. So, because that sustainability focus is kind of like where we want to head. But yeah, I thought this was a good place to start, just making it affordable for people. And yeah, it's taken off and done really well. I'm really proud of it. I love them so much. I really like the name too. I thought I nailed that.
Yeah, no, it's a cool name. And Balanced Bear?
Look, I love cooking, and I just kind of wanted to create like and snacking as well has been like a huge part of like me keeping on track and creating a sustainable routine for myself to stay healthy, feel fueled during the day. And I wanted to create a product that was multi-purpose. The thing I love most about my do-it-yourself protein ball mixes is that you can change the flavor. So if you want them to be a little bit sweeter, you just add a couple of things. So you add coconut oil and rice malt syrup. You can just add a tiny bit more rice malt syrup. So they're easy to make, and they're all like organic ingredients rather. So it was just a bit of fun. I like cooking. I worked on some recipes and then got a nutritionist to check over them for me just to make sure they were balanced and on point. And then, just kind of snowball. I was like, this is a great idea. I love snacking. I want to make snacks. Let's just do this. And then it kind of happened. And I have a really awesome team. So my business partners for both of the business, like they look after all of the logistics, so I don't have to worry about like production, packing, any of that kind of stuff. So I can just focus on, thinking of new product ideas, marketing, because I have the full-time job as well. So I think they've been split really well, and that's why I'm able to work full-time. And although they're super successful, I couldn't stop working anyway. They wouldn't be able to sustain me. And I don't think I'm ready to stop teaching yet. I really like it. I've got 2 Year 12 classes. I'm committed to getting them through the HSC. And so I'm just going to ride the wave and do it. Well, if I can do it, why not, right?
Yeah. Extra marks for any students that are bringing their lunch in a meal prep container,
God,
honestly.
that would be so awkward if they did. I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be so like, what are you doing? Oh my God.
How long have you been teaching for?
Coming up to 8 years. So
wow.
A while.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I really like it.
And it's English. Didn't you do a little bit of drama as well?
Yeah, I'm an English and drama teacher.
I love drama.
Yes, so
Who would have thought, Megan?
Helping kids come out of their shell, develop communication skills, group work skills. I think it's invaluable. And I think the two key learning areas work really nicely together, the English and the drama. So, yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
At the moment, English probably. My Year 12 class, I just love them. They're great. They're really hard workers, and they're going to produce some solid results. So I'm really, really proud of them and just enjoying teaching it. So,
have you always done high school teaching, or?
Yeah. So at uni, I got a blah, blah, blah. Yes. They're different degrees completely.
Yeah.
So
You did English, right?
double major English and drama. So at Sydney Uni. So
If you
Awesome.
could choose, well, I mean, you can choose. Would you teach little kids? Because little kids drive me crazy. I can spend like 45 minutes with them and I'm like, see ya.
I wasn't sure if that story was going crazy good for a second or crazy bad, but yeah, we got it now.
Probably not. I really like being able to influence someone at that like pivot moment in their life. So I feel like if I can teach them well and empower them, maybe I can help them make good life choices and empower them with knowledge so that they can go on and kill it at whatever they decide to do.
I feel really bad now.
Oh my God, no, don't feel bad.
You can hate kids, don't worry, it's all good.
I hate them.
I know, I get it though. That'd be hard to like, you've got to have a lot of patience to deal with someone that's like,
Yeah, I can appreciate anyone who can teach, even like adolescents all the way up to high school age.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's testing at times, but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. Megan, you have the infectious attitude of a kid. Like you're just bubbly,
Yeah,
happy,
it's 'cause I am a kid.
great to be around. I reckon you would get along with kids if you spent more time with them. You are. Yeah, I reckon you would. All right, so hey, we got a second segment. This is my favourite segment of the day. I'm excited for this one.
Stokes for this one.
We're under a lot of pressure, Megan.
Uh-oh.
The first time we did this, we flunked. We thought we had it, but we were so wrong. We absolutely crashed and burned.
Oh, really?
We sucked massively, and look, I while you do this, I'm going to explain all about this next segment, spirulina shots. I've got to actually use your Instagram because we're filming on my camera, so I'm gonna have to get up my photo on yours as well. While Megan does that, spirulina shots. So how this works? Okay, so we're gonna
Got your profile up.
we're gonna go through. Megan and I. We're gonna pick a photo each from your Instagram. We're gonna describe it,
Yeah.
and then ask a question about it.
Okay.
Now, if you answer correctly, we have to do a spirulina shot.
If I
If
get
you get it wrong, you have to do it.
Depends how well you describe it though, right?
Well, okay, here's
Yeah,
the
this
thing.
is-
We
yeah.
thought, we went from like a year back in episode 1, and Sarah, who was on our first episode, she got them with ease. And we were like, what?
What?
How
Yeah.
did that? Okay, so we sucked. We massively failed. So we're going hard
No,
on
I
this
think
one.
that means that you describe them well, right?
No, we did, or she has a brilliant memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be either.
And you know, I think like an influencer knows their feed, so we got to
Yeah.
up our game, Megan. Now, let me describe
Oh, God,
spirulina
there's so
shots.
much pressure now.
Let me describe. Okay, people at home are like, "Oh, what's spirulina shots?" Well, what's spirulina to start with? Let's start with the good. Spirulina is the most badass superfood on the planet. It's nutrient dense. It's so good that even NASA has looked into using it for long-term space missions.
Oh, wow.
That's the upside. So normally you use a little bit of it because it's so nutrient dense. Pop it in a smoothie and disguise it.
No
Now-
disguises here. Absolutely none. When I made it, I made sure I added like 2 whole scoops of spirulina.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
We are seasoned superfood drinkers. So the downside of spirulina is the fact that it tastes like creek. And when you add water, because it's an algae, so when you add water to it, it tastes like creek water.
Oh dear.
And Megan, she's yeah.
I actually love to
You've gone
chuck them
hard.
down. I'm not even afraid to lose at this point.
I felt so intimidated by Megan last week, who was the person who went first and like chugged it down as if it was nothing. I'm like, all right, I can't be like. Soft
I'm so
here.
immune to the flavor now. I'm like, meh.
Yeah, it's we've gone hard, and I know Megan. I can see from these shot glasses.
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
are
just
dark green.
gotta lift
They're
that one up.
I think they're almost
They're
black.
almost black.
Lift that one up to the camera. That is, I reckon that's half spirulina, half water.
Oh my
That
God.
is, and it's got a little bit of froth on top just to
Yeah.
make it even more delectable. So, let's do it. Megan, you're up first.
All right, I'm pulling up
Spirulina
your
shots.
first photo. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go.
So you are sitting in blue activewear. It's kind of like, what's that cross between blue and green called again?
Turquoise.
Yeah, almost like a
Glad
turquoise.
you got it. I was like, crap.
I should have looked at
Crap. I've
Caleb.
got no idea.
Yeah.
So almost like a turquoise activewear set. You're sitting down. You've got an amazing view behind you.
Probably Balmoral.
What? That was so loud. What?
Why do we suck at this? I thought that was a great. I thought that was great,
I was
Megan.
like, she goes to so many beaches. There's so many on her
it's
feed. She's
Balmoral
not going to
Beach.
guess it.
I've only been there with a turquoise set. Am I sitting doing yoga? Or like, does it look
Oh,
like?
this is the photo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
sitting down, your legs crossed. Did you just finish yoga after that?
Oh,
or
it was for a photo shoot, just like
Oh,
a brand
nice.
photo shoot. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Megan, suck it up. You're doing
Damn.
it. All right, get it
here
on
we go.
camera.
Haven't even
Get on
got
camera. While you
halfway
do this,
through
I've
that.
got to find the next
Okay.
one.
Cheers.
To
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Spirulina shots. Actually, you know what? Hold it. Let's do the.
Okay.
Let's do it like proper shots where we do it together. So
Okay,
either,
we'll see if you
At the end.
yeah,
lose
either
any more.
Lolas or you do it, or
All right.
all right, you're a bit further down for me. Luckily, I remember the date of this photo.
I didn't even finish talking. And
Yeah, I
you're
was
like,
like, oh yeah,
Balmoral.
Balmoral Beach.
Damn it.
I think my question's harder, so I don't feel
Yeah.
bad at all for like making this a ridiculously hard question.
Okay.
All right, I'm nearly
He
there.
really wants me
I'm
to
nearly,
lose.
nearly up
We're
to
going
the
years
date.
back.
No, I've gone to, oh, now I went too far. I've gone to here it is. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So I'm taking you back to your last meal prep
Oh.
of 2019.
Yeah,
So not
okay.
too long ago.
That's a
Let's
good
see how
one.
well you remember your prepping. So
Was it a pasta?
breakfast. Well, you're answering the
a lot
question.
in
You
your
don't even know what
face.
the question is.
Oh, okay.
Breakfast is tropical vanilla overnight oats. What is lunch?
Oh,
my God,
I got it. I've
that's a good
stumped her.
one. Yeah.
Oh God. That's hard because I do this every single week.
This
It
is
was
how
my
you do it,
last
Megan.
prep, so it might have been I was tired. I wanted to do it really quickly. Were they wraps?
Yes! Come on!
Wait, hold on.
I
wait.
stumped her.
No, wait. Hold on.
No, you don't get a second guess. You're gone. You're doing this shot.
Oh no.
All right, we have
was
finally,
it pasta?
Megan, high five me for
Yes!
Team Tropeaka. We've
Damn
finally
you.
got one.
What
All
was
right,
it?
lunch was a low carb, high protein tuna salad.
You know, my
Yes.
next like sentence was going to be, it's either I did wraps or it was a salad because I'm like, it was the last week of school. You can tell throughout the term, like my preps get like quicker and quicker. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I start off, cooking these elaborate things and spending like a good hour and a half in the kitchen. And then I just wanted to be in there 20 minutes, take a picture, done,
Yeah.
prepared, and then I'm out.
See about their thought process. This is like you're pretty close.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to be on the ball. Like that was, I was scared when you started to talk through it, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no. Yeah, damn it. I wish I hadn't said wraps. It's because I made wraps last week. So it was very like, that's what I do when I'm short of time
Yeah,
or when
yeah.
I'm tired.
Strategic.
All right,
Yes,
well,
I
look, I'm
like
going
it.
to sit back here and enjoy the view. So,
Hold on, let's
no.
record this. I feel like we should record
well,
this
it's
shot
recording
going
there.
down.
Oh,
All right,
actually, yeah, let's
yeah.
record it for a little bit of
Is it-
IG
there's
story.
no extra spirulina shots. So is it?
There
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
I had a third one there.
You're
just
not
in
getting away
case,
with this.
just in case we both lost, and then we could see if we could con.
Is this going to stay
All
my?
right.
Is
so
this
what do we
going to
want?
stay my
Do we
teeth?
want a boom?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get up and we'll do it together.
Wait. Do we do a boom? Is that you go? Where's the
Let's record
Instagram
it.
at?
Oh, it smells awful.
Yeah, I'm just gonna record the actual just as a video.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yuck. Oh.
It's so fine.
Oh, it's not fine.
It tastes real creaky, but it's really like all right.
Ew.
Come on, give us a good smile. Let me see those. Let me see those
I'm
green
just gonna
teeth.
do the other one for fun.
Oh no. Are my teeth green too?
Yeah, give us a look.
Oh my god, your teeth are bright green. Stop it. Real sexy. Eh.
Yeah, stick your tongue out. Yeah, well done. All right, well done, ladies. That's
Oh.
impressive.
I'm just gonna wash that down with
Yeah,
some water.
get some water.
All right, we'll give them give the ladies a moment. But look, I'm going to say from my standpoint, a really successful segment.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
On the par.
Thank you.
All right, so we're into the home stretch,
Yep.
and we've got about 5 questions left.
Okay.
So let's talk about your wellness routine outside of chugging down spirulina shots. So obviously you're incredibly busy, like we've gone over, and doing a million things. And you also meal prepping will obviously go into this question. But talk about not only your nutrition and your wellness routine
Yep.
around nutrition, but anything from like hacks with skincare.
Stretching
If you do a bit of biohacking in terms of
Yeah.
different lifestyle choices, run us through.
So yeah, meal prepping because I like being prepared and having nutritious homemade meals. Weightlifting, I've stopped doing exercise that I don't enjoy. So I tried Pilates. Like, I know lots of girls love it and it's great. It's just not for me. I really want to like lift heavy and feel like strong. That makes me happy. So I do that the most. And I do a little bit of running in between, just because for me it's a real challenge, and I like, you know, when you improve, and you can improve so quickly when you run regularly. It just feels good to improve at something. And then I like every morning I like have a stretching routine, which I do for 10 minutes. So as soon as I wake up, I'll start my stretching routine. It helps me get focused, and I'll listen to a podcast while I'm stretching. And then other self-care things that I like to do if I'm ever feeling stressed and overwhelmed, I like getting outside and going for a walk. I feel like just being close to nature, moving my body like in a low intensity way helps me stay sane, especially if I'm feeling overwhelmed and I've been inside and I've been so busy and I've been living in my head for so long. Just being outside really helps clear my mind and refocus me. And I'm very conscious of being aware of my feelings and not being afraid to talk about them. So if I am feeling stressed, overwhelmed, then I'll make a conscious effort to chat to SG, chat to one of my colleagues, chat to a good friend, and just be like, you know, this is what I'm feeling. I know I'm probably being, and sometimes when I just hear myself say things aloud, it helps me process things, and it stops me from like just getting so deep in the spiral of my mind that like it just hinders me from feeling good and living a healthy life. In regards to skincare, I only use Dermavisuals. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I've just found that it's skincare that works for me. I actually suffer from, I shouldn't say that. I have pigmentation, which I have learnt to be proud of. It's a hormonal kind of pigmentation. I can't get rid of it. And I used to use lots of like stripping, like glycolic acid kind of products, and it was making my skin thin, and it was just awful. And it was also making me really sensitive to the sun. So when I'd go outside, the sun would hit my face. It would make the pigmentation worse. I'd get more self-conscious about it. And it was just this awful kind of like circle that I was going in. So I found this, you know, I saw a skin therapist, and she got me onto these Dermavisual products, and she's actually taught me that I shouldn't be stripping my skin so constantly, because, you know, as you get older, your skin doesn't regenerate as quickly. So my goal with this skincare that I'm using at the moment is to keep the surface of my skin healthy and strong instead of stripping it away constantly. Because like, yes, straight away your skin looks really smooth and fresh and lovely, but over time you'll start to look like haggard and gross. And I think for my age, like my skin looks pretty good.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Thank you so much. So Dermavisuals, literally, it's the only thing I put on my skin. I'm talking like I had toner, hyaluronic under eye cream, a moisturizer, a serum that helps inhibit the pigmentation. So instead of trying to get rid of it, I'm trying to make the skin around it stronger, and which therefore like the melanin will redistribute in my skin and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, whatever. I have pigmentation, all part of life. Like I've also made a conscious effort to share that with my audience. I used to be really self-conscious about it and hide it all the time. But, you know, you'll see me now sometimes won't be wearing makeup at all and just be like, what up? And then obviously I enjoy wearing makeup as well. So I'm not going to stop doing that. So I guess that helps me feel healthy and confident as well.
I think when you own it as well, as much as you do, people just love you for who you are, and they don't care what you look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
just, yeah, it is. And I think the more I talk about it and expose it, I'm just like, I don't even care about it anymore. Kind of, being vulnerable makes me just feel more confident in the long run. At first, it's just like, oh my God, I used to cry about my skin all the time. My husband's always just so lovely. He's like, it's so pretty. It makes you unique. And I was like, no, it does not make me look unique. I have these, because, you know, for example, a little kid once said to me, oh, you've got dirt on your cheek. And I was like, no, that's not dirt. That's just my skin. But thanks for that. And he was always like, no, it makes you like, you know, not being so picture perfect actually makes you more beautiful.
Oh,
what a man. I love SG.
SG's
He's a good
best.
man.
He's so lovely to me. And now I believe that. I'm like, I don't need to be like flawless, picture perfect. And it kind of makes me more interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is my reality. So I'm just going to be sweet with that.
That's so good.
I think in the end, what you believe you picture yourself to be is what other people,
PayPal.
I like it.
is what other people will also believe. So if you put yourself forward as owning your flaws, being confident and, you know.
And I want people to remember me for how I make them feel rather than, oh, she's pretty. And so what? There are heaps of pretty people in the world. I'm never going to be the prettiest. So I want to leave people with like a good feeling and encourage them to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. You spoke about SG, and obviously, you've got family's very, very important to you.
Yes.
Your Jordanian and Palestinian background.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about your family and the role they play in I suppose your life? And
Yes, thank you for asking me this question. Again, I used to be not a little bit embarrassed, but it wasn't something that I so confidently shared. I speak a second language. I speak Arabic, and I'm really proud of that. And I think I took a lot of inspiration from my mum. You know, that's where my passion for food came from. She is an amazing cook, and that really kind of inspired me to learn how to cook, get passionate about cooking as well. And she's an inspirational woman. You know, she's kind of given up her whole life to care for my sister who has autism. So Nadia's 30 years old, and she's incredible. She's a great artist, and she sings beautiful. She's got like the voice of an angel, but you know what? She can't read and write. She doesn't really have like a concept of time, and mum's just gone above and beyond to, you know, she works shift work, just to make sure she's available during the day to like take my sister to her programs and stuff. And I think growing up, it was challenging having a kid, like a sibling with a disability, and I don't think that it's talked about enough. And I didn't talk about it. I mean, when I was really little, I didn't really comprehend like why she was the way she was. But as I've grown up, you know, I've learned to be her most fierce protector. And yeah, family is so, so important, and being proud of your heritage as well. And just, you know, yeah.
I was going to say, I wish I could speak a second language. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely embrace where you come from. Is there anything, I don't know what I was going to say.
It's all right. I was thinking, well, you're South African background. Yeah. Do your parents,
beautiful skin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish I actually tried to start learning what South Africans speak is called Afrikaans. And so I tried. I was like asking my dad all the time, but we migrated here when I was 2. And I was like, Dad, I want to learn it. And my mom was like, no, you're Aussie now. So I missed that.
Yeah.
I learned German and studied in Berlin
wow.
in
Can you speak
2011.
German?
I can, but I lost pretty much all of it. And my ex-girlfriend actually was from Latin America, so I learned a bit of Spanish, and that made my German even worse.
Cool.
And so I confused the two. So now, now I know like 5 sentences in German. I can throw them in whenever I need to, so people actually think that I'm fluent or I'm close to it. But I know 5 sentences.
Can
That's
you
it.
give us a one-liner?
Ich habe in 2011 in Berlin gewonnen. And then if they reply to it, I'm like, yeah.
That's so funny. I remember when I traveled around Europe on my own, I was like, I'm going to learn how to speak Spanish when I get back. It's such a beautiful language. And then it never happened.
Yeah, no, it's full respect to people. I mean, that's a big disadvantage we have as typical Australians, that we don't put enough emphasis on, especially in the school system, on learning that second language. It's just too easy growing up in an English-speaking environment. But yeah, such is life. Let's talk about... We've talked a lot about the past, the present. Let's go to the future.
No.
That was pretty poetic. I like that little transition.
Not bad.
Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years' time? Picture yourself, and what do you want to be doing?
I probably do want to have a family. I'm happy to share that with you. It would be nice if SG and I grew the Grant clan. And I don't know. I just want to do more public speaking. I think that speaking is... when I'm in front of a crowd of people, I'm actually speaking at an event tomorrow, that makes me feel very alive. So if I could in some way, shape or form do more of that, have a family, maybe do more public speaking. But I think I want to stay in the health and wellness space for the rest of my life. Well, that's how I feel at this point in time. I can't see myself not caring about this ever. So hopefully a family, and obviously I'll have my businesses still going. If they could survive, that would be amazing too.
All right, Lola, so give us a bit of a lowdown on where we can find all of your products, your social channels as well, so our audience can go and give you a follow.
You can follow me at Lady Lolas, so LADY.LOLAS, so Lolas is my last name. That's on Instagram, and then from my Instagram, I guess you'll find everything else. So my website is ladylolas.com. So that's where there'll be links to everything there. So
Perfect. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap this show up. Thank you so much for joining us. It was absolutely amazing having you on our show.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
We had a great time. Thank you. Passion, purpose, perseverance.
Yes.
Love it. Thank you. We'll catch you in episode 3.
Just a reminder before you leave, thank you so much again for tuning into the hashtag WHODIS podcast so far. Remember to hit that subscribe button right now so don't miss out on any future episodes, and also remember to share it with all of your friends. You can also find us at Tropeaka on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, pretty much all over the web for all of your health and fitness inspo with a whole lot of fun.